Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tech Gamers World. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how well my THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 flight stick is working after 3 years and almost 4,000 hours of virtual flying time. So, let's get it started. So like I said, this is the THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 flight stick. I bought this flight stick in 2021 from Best Buy for about $80. At the time, I was in the market for a flight stick, but I wasn't looking to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a high-end flight stick for something I wasn't sure I was going to use that often. Fast forward 3 years, it was the best money I have ever spent. This budget flight stick is amazing, and I use it for so many things. So, what are some of the things I have used it for over the past 3 years? Mainly, it's been used for Microsoft Flight Simulator on both the Xbox and the PC. I love Microsoft Flight Simulator and everything about it. It is just so much fun. And whether it's the Xbox or the PC version, it's all the same, and it's just such a cool flight simulator. Now, I've also used this flight stick for games like War Thunder on, again, the Xbox and the PC. I used it for a couple other flying games, but the main focus use has been for Microsoft Flight Simulator and War Thunder, because they are just two awesome games, two totally different games. Microsoft Flight Simulator is not war-based, it's really just a virtual flight simulator for the real world. So passenger jets, commercial airplanes, personal airplanes, gliders, helicopters. The Dune Ornithopter was released a little while ago, which had some awesome activities, which this flight stick came in really great use for. So how has this thing held up over the years? I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It has exceeded my expectations in every way. I've used it, my kids have used it, and I mean, you could see, look how good of condition it is. I know it's a little hard to see here because of I can't get too close, but you can see overall it's in excellent condition. All the labels are there. The buttons are still, they have their, it's hard to see, I know it doesn't really focus, but let's just trust me, it's in amazing condition for a budget flight stick. When I say budget, I mean, again, sub $100. Anything above that, you start to get expensive. The other competitor ones are just as great as well, don't get me wrong. But for somebody like me who wasn't huge into flight simulators at the time, this was awesome. And now, fast forward 3 years, I am still using this for all my Microsoft Flight Simulator and War Thunder virtual flying. I absolutely love it, and I would not trade it for anything, and that is the truth. THRUSTMASTER made something really special with this flight stick. So let's go ahead here and get a flight started up, shall we? So when I do my yearly reviews of this flight stick, I like to fly a discovery flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator just to have fun, a non-stressful, goal completing experience. And the best place to fly anywhere in the world is around New York City on the northeastern part of the United States. So we're going to be flying today in a Textron Aviation Cessna 172 Skyhawk. We're going to be starting out about 1,000 feet off the ground over Central Park in New York City. And again, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator being played on a Microsoft Xbox Series X in 4K 60 frames per second. So let's get it started here. So you'll see I will fly this entire flight without the use of a controller at all. I just need the controller to get the activity started. So we're going to start with the throttle all the way down at 0 and the flight stick in its neutral position. So I do also have THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT Rudder pedals, but I am not using them in this video because I'm showing you the demonstrative and high quality use of the THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 flight stick. So while we're just waiting on this to load here we go. So we are at New York City at 9:25 a.m. Wind is 8 kts. Altitude is 1,000 feet above mean sea level. We have unlimited fuel, and our cruise speed is 124 ktas, and max altitude in this particular aircraft is 14,000 feet, which we will not be going near today. So let's get to it. Here we go. So we are over Central Park, heading downtown now. So as you can see, letting go of the flight stick, it's holding exactly as I expect it to. And let's go ahead here, bring the engine throttle up so we can make sure we are at 100%. So let's test the rudders here. Right, left. Gotta be careful here, I don't want to crash. Let's bring her into a cockpit view here. You can see New Jersey over that way. So as we head downtown here, I'm going to pull back on the flight stick. As you can see, even the most basic and minimal movement here translates to a movement in this aircraft. Locked on to a building here. We're passing by Times Square in New York City. There it is. A little hard to see, but you can see the iconic Times Square. Next up, we will pass by the Empire State Building. So we'll bank off to the right a little bit here and lock on. Passing by the antenna. Get some beautiful views of the city. And now we will head downtown towards the World Trade Center. So I absolutely love this flight stick. It is one of the best investments I have ever made for my gaming experiences. This particular flight stick, again, is the THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 flight stick. It works on Microsoft Xbox One, Series S, and Series X, and the PC being Microsoft Windows 10 or 11. This device does not work on PlayStation. If you want a PlayStation version, you need to buy the THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 4. So we're heading downtown now towards the World Trade Center. There you can see the iconic World Trade Center building, which we will lock onto. This is One World Trade Center. This is, again, THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 flight stick being used with Microsoft Flight Simulator on a Microsoft Xbox Series X, and this does have the Sam Scene 3D add-on pack for New York City. So let's go ahead now and head down towards the Statue of Liberty. So we'll head towards Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty here. I gotta slow it down because we are going really fast. There is Ellis Island, off to our right. As you can see, we can use the hat here to look over towards New Jersey. There's Jersey City. There's the other way. And there is the Statue of Liberty, which we will now do a nice leisurely fly around. And we'll head back up towards Manhattan. There's a better shot for you of the Statue of Liberty. And Jersey City in the background. So let's head back uptown now. And we'll do a little fun flying here. So bringing the throttle back to 100%, you can see letting go The plane does exactly what I expect it to. There's no unexpected movements or jitters. And watch this. If I pull back on the flight stick really hard and then let it go, it does exactly what I expect. I have no jitters or joystick drift, yaw drift, any of those issues with this flight stick. Now, these flight sticks, some of them are prone to what's called joystick drift, where the joystick essentially goes like this, even if it's not moving, and your plane will move accordingly. That's because usually dirt and debris get down inside of the flight stick, and it triggers the sensors in there to think that there's movement when there's not. I do not eat, drink, or get anything on my equipment, which is probably why it holds up so well. There's the Barclays Center over there, and we'll fly over by some of the bridges here. The Brooklyn Bridge coming up here. I've had a lot of people say that they get, issues with the flight sticks. Sometimes there are, defects. There's Kennedy Airport up there. It happens with defects. You can work with THRUSTMASTER to RMA it. I have never had any of those issues. We flew over the Brooklyn Bridge, fly over this bridge. There's a nice shot of the Brooklyn Bridge. So let's go ahead and head back over Manhattan here. We'll head up past the Empire State Building again. I absolutely love New York City. It is just such an amazing place. There is nothing like it in the world. We'll head up towards New York City, Penn Station, and Madison Square Garden. So you can see just how awesome this is. Pulling back on the throttle here, you can see the engine speed slowing down there. Bring it back up. Put some flaps down. You can see the flaps are down. I know you don't see the percentages because the camera for the flight stick is blocking it, but we don't need that. We're at max flaps. As you can see, it slowed our airspeed considerably. So let's return the flaps. Turn to the normal position at 0 degrees. And let's head uptown again here. We'll fly over by the Chrysler Building this time. You can see Madison Square Garden up on the left there. Not a whole lot to see there. There's LaGuardia, which will be our landing destination for this flight. So as always, if anybody ever has any questions or needs help getting their THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 flight stick working with either Microsoft Flight Simulator, War Thunder, or any of the other supported games like Ace Combat, definitely drop a comment and I'd be glad to help you out. You do have to do some configuring on the profiles for aircraft and helicopters to make it work properly, which I'm not showing in this video, but I do have other videos on my channel that show you how to do that, and you can certainly check them out. Just go to the Microsoft Flight Simulator playlist and you will find them there. So let's go ahead now and head down Central Park, and we'll go up the Upper East Side here. So when they say the Upper East Side, they mean the more northern portions of New York City and the East Side. So the city is separated by the East Side and the West Side, kind of center lined on Central Park. The East Side, obviously, if you're heading north, is to the right. So we're heading a little bit towards the northeast. We're going to go ahead here and fly over Central Park. There is the Met building, and I'll show you some hat controls here. The Met is an awesome place to visit if you're into art. There's the Met. I've been there before. It's really cool. This is the Jackie Onassis Reservoir, the biggest man-made lake in New York City. Flying over it here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Central Park has so much awesome stuff. Just testing out the rudder here. So let's now head towards LaGuardia Airport. See if we can land this plane. You can see just how sensitive this is. Rudder movements. Everything. It's so cool. Ailerons. All that good stuff. Like I said, I absolutely love this flight stick, and I cannot recommend it enough, even 3 years later. Heading over to the east now, we'll head over to LaGuardia, which is right there. So we'll slow our forward speed down a little bit here. And we'll head over to, I believe that's runway 13 at LaGuardia. So normally you would do air traffic control call-outs, requests for landing, and all that stuff. Because this is a discovery flight, we have free reign to do whatever we want and do not have to worry about aircraft or runway incursions. So let's see if we can land this plane. Normally I fly in cockpit only mode, but I'll give you a nice view of New York City again. You can see New Jersey and the Bronx off in the distance. Now let's focus on the runway. So we're lining up here. Again, nice subtle movements with the flight stick, feathering our speed to keep us above stall speed. And as we get closer, we'll apply some flaps here. I'm going to have to listen for the call-outs for the the altitude, because I'm actually blocking it with the flight stick camera. But that's alright, I can do this via visual in any way. Here. Let's put down some more flaps. And let's kill the forward speed. Throttles all the way down to 0. Using just the flight stick to line us up with the runway here for a nice, smooth landing on runway 13. There we go. We are down. So now we want to go ahead and get off this runway. So we'll bring it forward here. The brake is assigned to B2. So as you can see, as I brake, we will slow down. Let's go ahead and move up here and find a nice taxiway so that we do not hold up other planes trying to land at LaGuardia here. So again, just feathering the throttle keeps us moving forward here. It looks like we're coming up on a taxiway up here. There we go. There's a taxiway we can use. And we'll go ahead and pull up to one of those gates up by the main building there. Nobody's at them anyway. So you can see, as we're taxiing on the ground, and we're going to blow by that car right there, just how responsive this flight stick is, even while taxiing. This will work for a parking spot here. There's nobody else around. Alright, there we go. We are safely at our parking spot in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Again, I have had this THRUSTMASTER T.FLIGHT HOTAS 1 flight stick for 3 years now, and it's got about at least 4,000 hours of flight time on it across multiple games on both the Microsoft Xbox and Microsoft Windows PC games. If anyone has any questions or has feedback on this flight stick, definitely drop a comment down below, and I would love to hear about what your thoughts are. Or again, if you need any help, definitely let me know. I would love to help you out. It would be my pleasure. If you could click that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm going to have new and exciting content coming soon. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I will see you around. Keep on gaming.